Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics has non-classics. This is episode number 1291 and Doubleshot number 1185. I have two Star Wars trades. What Star Wars trades? How about the first two volumes to collect the Star Wars ongoing series, one of the last three titles that the Dark Horse published before they lost the license. Now, I've already technically reviewed Darth Maul Son of Dathomir. Really good miniseries. However, check it out. Now, this series is not canon to the current continuity because Disney wiped away almost the entire fucking canon with the exception of a few things. Now, these two are two drastically different trades. First up, let's talk about the Volume 1, The Shadow of Yavin. Wonderful cover image by Alex Ross. Yep. Now, these issues are written by Brian Wood. Interesting, though, he's never been brought back to Marvel to do Star Wars. So I'm like, really? He hasn't? Yeah, he hasn't. Star Wars published at Marvel now for almost 6 years, and no Brian Wood. We've had Charles Shaw, we've had Jason Aaron, Karen Gillian, Greg Pak, Dennis Hopeless, Jody Hauser's on the Star Wars books, Tom Taylor, but Brian Wood? Nope. Now, the interior artwork, basically, for this book is different than the following book. This book is by Carlos Danita. And man, oh man, this artwork is so good. My gosh, such fantastic artwork. Yep. Of course, this is set right after the events of New Hope. Not immediately per se, but just not long afterwards. So, one of the things they're investigating here is that we have Leia and Luke just doing some scouting for a new base, and then all of a sudden a bunch of TIE fighters and a Star Destroyer come completely out of nowhere. Yeah, Vader's here. So, they're thinking, like, how the heck did they get here so quickly? So, once they get back to base, have to deal with this. So, Leia decides to form a Black Ops group to deal with this nonsense. Basically, an off-the-books Black Ops group just called Stealth Squadron. Basically, she's in charge, with Wade Antilles as her second command, with Luke Skywalker's being there, and with a bunch of our people. Also, they have Wonder Woman in the group who possibly has something for Luke Skywalker, but it's never really developed very much at all. It's heavily hinted about for this trade and the next one. So, they don't exactly find out exactly who was responsible. Of course, they had this assistant. Now, Vader himself is moved from command of the ship he's on, the Executioner, and have to a pilot. Yes, a pilot who's named Colonel Retcher, I think his name is. And he's a pretty decent commander for what he is. And he's given a smoking hot ensign who disappears after this trip for no reason. Yeah. And Vader himself is getting a new assignment, a new ship. He's told by the Emperor, don't go back to that ship. He, of course, doesn't. And one of the members of the Stealth Squadron dies in these issues. And I got at least got ahead of Brian Wood. He has such fantastic writing for Star Wars. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah. And they suffer some setbacks, so now we have this second volume here in the Ruins of Alderaan. Yep. Great cover. It's basically a movie-esque style poster cover. Wade Antilles looks kind of like, well, the actor who plays in the movies. Now, with these issues, we changed the artist. Do not know why. Now, this artwork is done by Hugh Fleming, which this artwork is actually really good. Very much captures the artist. Very captures the looks of the actors who play these characters. Now, for some reason, the interior artwork changed. No idea why. It just that it did. We have Ryan Kelly on the artwork. And wow, it's just a drastic step down. The human characters look perfectly fine. We have this woman named Barbara Shia, who looks like she's presumably in her 50s. She's got gray hair, she's got wrinkles, and she seems like she's old, but she basically becomes Luke's. And look how this artist draws Luke Skywalker. It's almost like this artist now Leia looks fine, but Luke, wow, what the heck happened? I mean, he looks a lot older. I mean, he looks like he just aged 10 years in just 6 issues. That makes no freaking sense at all. Now, Leia's drawn perfectly fine, but Luke, wow! And look at this artist draws Chewbacca. I mean, wow. What a really bad look for him. Like, it kind of looks like the way he did back in the original run. Like, wow. And look, Han Solo. What the heck? Like, it seems like Leia is the only one who actually is drawn properly. Oh, by the way, this guy here, that's Wedge Antilles. You probably can't tell because he looks completely different to how he looks on the damn cover. Why the heck this looks so different? I have no idea. At least Leia kind of looks like the late Carrie Fisher. Yeah, they get her right, which I do appreciate. It seems like all the guys look freaking horrible. And 3PO at first looks fine. I mean, he has this very weird look on his face, but at first he looks perfectly fine. And then later on, it's like, what the heck happened to him? Also, this is blue hair woman where, oh yeah, claims to be the most beautiful woman in the galaxy, despite the fact this is not a future wife. Nope. Han ends up with Leia. Yep. And of course, well, we also have Boba Fett pop up in here. He looks pretty good in this artwork. Yeah, we also have Slave 1, of course. Slave 1 because it's Boba Fett, so why not? Also, fun little factoid about the Stealth Quadrant ships. Now, I'm going to show you the image. You're probably thinking, wait, did the artist of this book rip up Star Wars Force Awakens? Because look at this X-Wing. That looks exactly like the X-Wings that the Force Awakens used for the Resistance. Yes, these black X-Wings. Yeah, and also, the helmets are black. Just like the Resistance outfits are. I'm like, okay, what's the whole point of this? Now, my guess is they must take inspiration from this run. It's possible they must take color scheme. I'm not really sure. And look, here is, of all people, look. Some alien creature looks like Boss, but it's not Boss. Great image of Boba Fett. Yep. Let's see if I can find here. Like, early on, with like Vader looks great in this artwork, and then it seemed like though halfway through, like, it seems like we get this issue, you're like, what the heck happened? Like, it almost seems like that they changed artists. It's still the same artist. And look how this artist draws Mon Mothma. Yes, this older woman is Mon Mothma. Like, wow. Oh, and by the way, who is this strange alien creature supposed to be? That's Admiral Akbar. Yes, that's not a joke. That is Admiral Akbar. But I'm thinking, that's not Admiral Akbar. He looks different. That is Akbar. Well, he's not the only artist that basically changed the look of the character. Yep. Let's see if we can find him here. 3PO looks really different. Like, they apparently, between issues, the artist decided to change what 3PO looks like. Like, what the heck is this? This apparently is C-3PO. Like, what the heck happened here? Yes, I was reading this, I'm like, what the heck? And look, here's Vader. Again, why they change the look for? After having looked great previously, and it's like, oh, let's make Vader, make it put on like about 20 pounds of muscle between issues for like no reason. Have characters aged 10 years for like no reason. So, after setbacks, basically the Stealth Squadron is disbanded and reformed as something really exciting. Those of you fans of the video game and the novel series, Wedge Antilles suggesting changing the name from Stealth Squadron to Rogue Squadron. Yes, those of you fans of the classic video game from Star Wars and the classic book series, which by the way is about 10 books by the way. Yeah, that group. The group that Wedge Antilles himself is in charge of. I reviewed the books basically. At first he was the commander, and about half of the series he's promoted to the rank of general. And he was resistant to promotion because he didn't want to get out the cockpit, but he eventually got general rank anyways. Writing here is still fantastic. Did not like to change the artwork though. It almost seems as though that excuse me, that the artist basically looked like a similar style to the artist of these issues here, which is Carlos Danita. Yeah, it seems like you was go with that art style first, and then halfway through the storyline, we change look at the characters for like no reason. Mon Mappa looks a lot older. Like it's like the artist just aged her up 20 years for like no reason. C-3PO has a completely different look. Like a lot of characters simply change the looks for like no reason at all. Yes, I'm gonna give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. It's a great book. Didn't like the change in the artwork though. Now, if you're curious though, how long did this run last before Dark Horse? Despite Dark Horse losing the license, anyways, how long did this run last for? 20 issues. I'm not kidding about that. Last 20 issues. My local library doesn't have next trade for some reason, but I'm happy I got these two. Yep. Now the writing here is still fantastic. Love the writing. Not really a big fan of the artwork. It's like the first 6 issues, really good artwork, consistent for all 6 issues. In the case of the second trade, good artwork for 6 issues. Didn't like the looks of a couple characters, but the artwork was fine. And the second half, it's like, what happened here? Why the heck all the characters look drastically different for like no explained reason at all? Yep. Plus, one good nod here is Hugh Fleming. I got at least got handed to him for making a very good cover. Yes, the covers are really good. And these by far are the first trades published by Dark Horse, not by Marvel. Technically, this is part of the Legends line. But you know what the shocking thing is? There's no printing of this in Marvel this run. Nope, there isn't. Dark Times has got a new printing at Marvel under the Epic Collection line. That book, Empire, Rebellion, those books have got new printings at Marvel, which that's fantastic. But this book, one of the last books published under Dark Horse, it was one of 3. Actually, it was one of like 4 books published at the same time. You have this book. You have a. Let's see. There was also Star Wars Legacy Volume 2, which that lasted for 20 issues. We have Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, and we have another series. I think it's called like it's not Empire. It was a Darth Vader book. Let me look it up right here because I have it on here because I read it while it was coming out. Let's see if I can find it here. It is. I don't think it's not Crimson Empire, no. I don't remember the name of the series, but it was one of those things, one of those other series. It was set like during the Old Republic era for Star Wars. And that was a pretty series itself. Yeah. It was interesting, though, that Dark Horse had to revive Star Wars Legacy, despite the fact they're losing license anyways. They didn't last very long, though. No, we just focused on a different character from the Skywalker line. Yeah, if you're curious about Star Wars Legacy, that series was a 50-issue comic book written by John Ostrander. Yes, the same guy who wrote Suicide Squad wrote the series. And this was set like 100 years in the future of Star Wars, where it focused on the descendants of Luke Skywalker, who used death sticks, had himself a smoking hot girlfriend, though he flipped back and forth between the dark side and light side. He also slept with a female Sith Lord. Yes, a red-skinned female Sith Lord he slept with. Which, though his girlfriend later meant nothing. He probably did it just because he wanted to. But he always loved his girlfriend. Yep. Also, Luke Skywalker appears in the series as a Force Ghost. Yep. And it's also revealed that the Great Jedi Temple that Luke Skywalker spent all that time building in that timeline was wrecked in another purge. Yep, the Jedi were completely wiped out in the second purge in that universe. So they built a Sith temple right on top of it, believe it or not. Yes, the temple on Coruscant. Yep. But this it will before that. But these 2 books, fantastic. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my reviews for 2 other series, Quintessential Quintuplets and Case Closed. Yep, which they did release new chapters today, which I'm very happy with that. Yep, but see you next video. Bye.